Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another wrestling video, and today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite events as a child, the 1992 Survivor Series. And you know, this was just an awesome event from start to finish. There you see Mr. Perfect and Randy Savage on the cover, and here we go to the back. We got Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels gracing the back of it. Okay, and now this, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite events in history. I mean, there were a few weak matches on this card, but I mean, hey, you can't have them all. This was the first time they actually broke tradition, and they had a lot of singles matches on this card, and it was the first time that they didn't have every match as a Survivor Series style matchup. And to open things up, we had High Energy, the team of Owen Hart and Koko B. Ware against the Headshrinkers. And I mean, you know, Owen and Koko did a good job. They made the Headshrinkers look very good in this matchup. I mean, Koko and Owen were just two guys, I think, that you know, was always willing to put other wrestlers over and did not have an ego problem, unlike some wrestlers that I do not want to mention at this time. But the end came when we saw some high-flying action from Owen Hart, and then finally it caught up to him, and the Headshrinkers dominated him, and Fatu did the splash off the top rope and got the pin on Owen Hart. A pretty good opening matchup. I mean, the crowd, they was hype, they were ready for action. As you can see in every opening match at a pay-per-view, the crowd is really, really hype. Anyway, the Headshrinkers win. This was shortly after their debut. They had just came to the WWF probably maybe a month or two before this. Anyway, your Headshrinkers are the winners. Then we had a match that everyone was anticipating since Nailz made his debut at some point early in 1992 when he attacked the Big Boss Man. We saw Sean Mooney give the warning before the match, saying use viewer discretion because this match is not for the faint at heart, and this match will be a Nightstick Match. Much of a brawl in what we expected out of this match. A lot of punching, kicking, and stomping in this matchup by both men. Then a very short match as well. We seen the Big Boss Man grab the nightstick and use it on Nailz, and then Nailz countered and kicked him in the gut and nailed Boss Man several times with it. And then we seen the Big Boss Man do the sidewalk slam on Nailz after Nailz missed a shot with a nightstick, and the Boss Man got the win. 1, 2, 3. Your winner of the Nightstick Match, the Big Boss Man. Not the best match, but it was, as far as stipulations were concerned, it was interesting to watch, being the Nightstick as a stipulation. Okay, next match we had Tatanka taking on the model Rick Martel, and I actually enjoyed this match. I mean, I always enjoyed any match that Tatanka and Rick Martel ever had in the WWF. I think they brought a little bit of an attitude to their matches. We've seen the intensity of Tatanka, and we've seen the great mat skills of Rick Martel in this matchup. Anyway, after a good 10-minute match or so, we've seen Tatanka get the pin with the fallaway slam and regain possession of the sacred eagle feathers that was stolen by the model Rick Martel. Okay, the fourth match of the night was one of the two main events. Mr. Perfect and the Macho Man Randy Savage taking on Razor Ramon and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And Mr. Perfect had recently turned face. They threw this thing together at the very last minute. This was one of those things where, you know, I think they did a good job, being that they had a little bit of time left to come up with a replacement for Randy Savage. And because, as we all know, the Ultimate Warrior was supposed to be Savage's tag partner in that matchup, and we all know the story about Warrior getting fired a couple of weeks before the Survivor Series 92 ever happened. And then they actually came up with this angle on Primetime Wrestling about a week or two earlier, where Savage was left without a tag team partner, and then he kept hinting to them and then said he has Mr. Perfect in mind for a tag team partner, and then Bobby Heenan was not too happy about it, and then we seen an altercation between Bobby Heenan and Mr. Perfect, in which Perfect turns face and said, Savage, I'm back, and I'm back in the Survivor Series as your partner, believe it or not. And then he pours water on Bobby Heenan, which would signify, a fresh start for Mr. Perfect as a face wrestler. Anyway, a great match, a great, unbelievable matchup. The crowd was hot for this one. They couldn't wait to see Perfect back in the ring. At one point during the matchup, we saw Perfect teasing the WWF fans. He was about to leave the ring and then made his way back to the ring, teasing that he will walk out on Randy Savage. But, a great match that I enjoyed all the way. We seen a big brawl come down to the end of it where Flair and Ramon gets disqualified for trying to break Mr. Perfect's leg with the figure 4 leg lock, and then Razor Ramon tries to bash Perfect with a chair, but then Savage came to the rescue and then gave Perfect the chair while he was in the figure 4 leg lock. And the way Perfect just whacked Flair in the face, it just made my teeth hurt. And then he delivered a chair shot to Razor, and then another chair shot to Flair, and then the referee awards the match to Perfect and Randy Savage, and the crowd just went bananas. The crowd just went bananas. This is probably one of my top 3 favorite Survivor Series moments ever. Your winner by disqualification, Mr. Perfect and the Macho Man Randy Savage. Okay, the next matchup was Virgil taking on Yokozuna, who I believe was making his in-ring debut at the Survivor Series. A squash match, nothing special, lasted probably about 3 minutes for the most. Yokozuna wins with the bonsai drop. Your winner, Yokozuna. Okay, and then we had a traditional Survivor Series elimination tag team match pitting the newly face-turned Nasty Boys teaming up with the Natural Disasters against Money Incorporated and the Beverly Brothers. Yeah, an okay matchup. I mean, like I said, the Natural Disasters are noted for their, classic 5-star matches. Neither are the Nasty Boys, and neither are the Beverly Brothers. Anyway, the Natural Disasters and the Nasty Boys go at it with their opponents, and at some point we see one of the Beverlys eliminated, so that means him and his partner had to leave the ring, and it was Money Inc. against the Natural Disasters and the Nasty Boys 2-on-4. Then Earthquake got pinned by got pinned by Urinar Shyster, and then the Natural Disasters were eliminated, coming down to the Nasties and Money Inc. And then immediately after Typhoon was eliminated by IRS, we seen Jerry Sags go in the ring and schoolboy IRS and get the pinfall. Your winners and survivors of this, very forgettable tag team Survivor Series elimination matchup, the Nasty Boys. Okay, and then we had a first here, the first ever casket match, which was known as the Coffin Match. The Undertaker taking on Kamala. And, not your best, cream of the crop casket matches, but, it was watchable. It was interesting to see the casket at ringside for the first time and then see someone get rolled into it. Undertaker was the victor in this match after Kim Chi, whatever his name is, tried to toss the urn to Kamala and try to get Kamala to nail the Undertaker with it, but Kamala was scared. So Undertaker just grabbed it and he just whacked Kamala right in the head with it, and he got the pin. And then afterwards, we seen Taker roll Kamala in the casket and then nail it shut and took it to ringside. It was so strange at the time. You had to pin your opponent, that's one thing, and then actually put them in the casket coffin to win the match. They could have just made it like you have to get your opponent in the casket to win the match. But anyway, that was a beginner's match at that time. No one really knew, what was what and how the stipulations went. Okay, and then the main event for the WWF Championship, Bret the Hitman Hart, the WWF Champion, taking on the Intercontinental Champion, Shawn Michaels. And oh my gosh, I think this has to be Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels' finest wrestling matchup. aside from the Iron Man match that they had in 1996 at WrestleMania. A 30-minute classic, a gem of a match with a lot of aerial wrestling, technical wrestling, mat-based wrestling. Oh my gosh, this match had it all. You wanted to see a good fight, you seen it. You wanted to see a good technical prowess, in-ring prowess, this match had it. They got a lot of time, and they did a very, very good job in this match. This is probably on one of my top 5 lists of wrestling matches in the 1990s. This Bret Hart Shawn Michaels match. Anyway, the end came. We got teased, by the way, with near fall after near fall, where you think Shawn was going to win it, and we hear Bobby Heenan on commentary saying if Michaels don't get him tonight, his next opponent will. A lot has been taken out of the Hitman. And then the end came finally when Shawn attempted a drop kick off the top rope, and then Bret just caught him by the legs and turned him over into the sharpshooter, and thus retains the WWF Championship. Still your WWF Champion, Bret the Hitman Hart. Then after the match, we seen snow come from the rafters of the Richfield Coliseum, and then we seen Santa Claus come out to celebrate with Bret Hart. And you know, just a great matchup that made this pay-per-view watching. Two of the best workers ever in Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Okay guys, Survivor Series 92, you know, a pretty, you know, it was a pretty good card. I mean, the Bret Hart Shawn Michaels match saved this event. The Perfect Team versus Ric Flair and Razor Ramon match saved this event, as well as Tatanka and Rick Martel had a decent match as well. You know, a pretty good event, and these are just childhood memories. So, you know, if you haven't seen Survivor Series 92, please check it out. It's one of the best ever. You have to see this Bret Hart Shawn Michaels match. It is worth watching this match alone. Alright guys, that's it. I'm out. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you guys later. 1.